In the process of reading a lot of articles and also watching a lot of YouTube videos based on the music industry and music production, I've noticed there's a plethora of content out there based off this new direct-to-consumer model where an artist promotes and sells their product directly to fans without any major label or third-party backing. Essentially, this puts the power of the music back into the hands of the creators where it should be. With that being said, I think it's safe to say that in reality, this has always been the way, and maybe the biggest mistake we've made as creators is putting our music in the hands of someone else, especially someone who doesn't understand the culture in which the music has developed from. Contrary to the idea of this being a new discovery, the idea of direct-to-consumer has always been a thing, even dating back to the 80s and 90s. There was a time when local and underground artists would sell their music hand in hand, some even literally out the trunk.
Everything. I started the trunk of my car, just like E-Boy and Too Short. I grew up in a competition they grew up in, but what made me different, I started a retail store. And by me having a retail store, I was able to study the product and study as a business person as far as retailing a product to a consumer.
Some artists will work directly with mom and pop record stores under consignment. Basically, as an artist, you would give your CDs to the stores for a certain price, and the store would sell them for a bit more. You, as the artist, would make your money back, and the store owners would take their cut off the top, a win-win situation. In this series, we want to touch on the areas that have had the most success using this method. So without further ado, today, we begin with my home state, and the most obvious example for myself to start with, the Texas rap scene. When you think about early Texas rap, you gotta go back to the early Rap-A-Lot days with acts like Royal Flush, Raheem, and the original Ghetto Boys, which initially was Sir Jukebox, Sir Rap-A-Lot, and Prince Johnny C, before what most may know as Scarface, Willie D, the late Bushwick Bill, as well as the late DJ Ready Red, R.I.P. Not to mention a long list of artists like Gangsta Nip, OG Style, The Convicts with Big Mike and Mr. 3-2, R.I.P., The Odd Squad with Devin the Dude, and even Big Mello, R.I.P. Also, we have to shout out DJ Daryl Scott and the late MC Wicked Cricket, R.I.P. At the time, Rap-A-Lot was one of the few entities in Houston in the South that had major label distribution and backing.
I done a production deal with A&M Records with Raheem. That went okay, but at the time A&M Records didn't know jack about rap, so they didn't do a good job with Raheem. But through the advances and the money that I got from A&M, I placed a stronger foundation for Rap-A-Lot.
As well as Suave House, founded by Tony Draper, which had artists like 8Ball and MJG, and Tila from Memphis, as well as South Circle with Mr. Mike and Crime Boss. But there were other movements going on in the area through independent and self-made labels, one of those being groups like Street Military with Pharaoh, Lil Flea, KB the Kidnapper, Icy Hot, and Nut. Also, you had the South Park Coalition with K Reno, Point Blank, Dope E, Klondike Cat, and Murder One. All these names ring bells in the city of Houston, and all that music has been bought and sold in the streets, as well as mom and pop stores across the South. For anyone who is familiar with DJ Screw, you know it's a well-known fact that Screw started at his house selling tapes and CDs before eventually opening his own store, the Screw Shop, in the south side of Houston.